We want information. Information. Information.
Who are you?
The new number 2.
Who is number 1?
You are tardy, and your videos are late.
I am not on a schedule. I'm a free man!
Hey guys, Sean here from Aardnor Minis. It's good to see you again. Sorry for the delay. The end of 2021 was extremely busy, all in many good ways, but I just wasn't able to get to my YouTube channel. Nonetheless, we're back up and running, and this time we're going to look at this vintage wooden sign I created. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Let's get going.
Alright, so the first step of this project is figuring out what the sign will look like. I used Photoshop for this, and here's kind of a quick whiz-bang tour through it. This is what we came up with. The pieces were printed out on my crappy bubble jet printer, multiple pieces over a number of sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper. They were then cut down and reassembled kind of like a jigsaw puzzle of sorts. Nice slow cut around the curved corner. Here we go, we start seeing the pieces coming together. Alright, a obligatory slow tape pull. Ooh, what great filming. Yeah, so once the whole pieces of paper were put together, they were taped down to a piece of XPS foam, which is highly compressed foam used in insulation. I'm going to go through now with a pencil, pressing fairly hard through the paper to try and mark it into the foam below. This awesome iris drawing compass that my lovely wife bought for me one Christmas, and it's fantastic for doing circles. I'm going to use it to do the corner of the sign here. Now the same procedure on all the letters of the sign, pressing fairly hard with the pencil to make grooves into the foam that we can then use to guide us to what the sign should look like. Does that make sense? Here's the big reveal. Dum-da-da-dum. And you can see all the letters and the edges of the sign are all kind of marked onto the foam now. A very old-fashioned way of transferring an image, but it works quite well. So the next step is to take all of these lines and make them a little bit deeper with an X-Acto knife. Make sure it's sharp. Watch your fingers, of course, but a sharp blade is good to cut into the foam. Here we go. Everything's now been cut. And we're ready to move on to the next step. Taking a ballpoint pen or a traditional lead pencil, just going through and kind of beveling out all those little marks that were made with the X-Acto knife. Here we go, everything now kind of stands off as its own piece. I'm going to use a chisel here. It's for wood carving, so it should work really well for foam. I'm going to first go around the edges of the letters carefully and just kind of chip away at the foam that I don't need. The chisel does a pretty good job, actually. It's kind of like doing wood, but not really, if that makes sense. And this process obviously was quite tedious, took quite a while, but you just have to keep your mind about you and just kind of get into the groove and go ahead and do it. A tip I would give is to not go in the same direction all the time. Change your direction, or otherwise it all starts to look similar. And here we go. This is all of the letters carved out. Ooh, a real sexy reveal. And I think that's looking pretty effective. Alright, going to cut out the rounded corners. Again, X-Acto knife. I'm not going to do it in one cut. That's hard because it's quite thick and it's difficult. So I'm just going to take it, a couple of swipes at it, and get it cut out. There we go. I've kind of weathered up the wood, distressed it a bit, put some nicks and chips and cracks into it, giving it some presence and some character. This step is optional. I thought it looked pretty cool, but I put in some like wood knots or eyes into the edge of the wooden sign. And then to give it that wood grain effect, I'm using a brass wire brush to rasp down it. And there we go, that's kind of the main part of the sign done. Alright, fun little bumper there, kind of like Bill making stuff, a nice inspiration for video. If you don't follow Bill, please do. I have to make some hardware now to hang the sign, so these are some brackets, a big drill bit going through some MDF. Some googly eyes, these things work great for rivets. So these items are actually going to be the hardware that'll hold onto the sign itself and allow it to hang from the post that I'm going to make. I like to give the metal kind of a interesting texture, so the best way I've found to that is to use some basic Carpenter's PVA wood glue and just kind of dab it all on with a bit of a beat up paintbrush. Let that dry and you get a really nice texture. Hello, hello. The project requires a little woodworking. I gotta make a wooden base that will attach to the bookcase or the wall. I'm gonna use a coping saw here. I've used a similar saw a lot in my jewelry days. You cut vertically, which is a little different, but once you get the hang of it, it's a very, very... These are shower curtain rings that are used to hang the sign. They were primed in my outdoor spray booth. All the hardware items are going to get a base coat in black first. This is a finial for the end of the pole. It was constructed off camera. Sorry people can't film everything. And now some dry brushing with the bronze. You can't see it very well here. Just, I guess, the lighting, whatnot. Photography's not that great. I have to shoot that person. Nonetheless, it does give a really nice metal effect. Onto the sign itself, basing it all out with a really dark brown. It'll work pretty hard to get it in all the little cracks and the scratches and everything, but it's certainly worth it. It's dry brushed with a bit of lighter colors to bring out and accentuate those wood grains. And then the letters themselves are highlighted with kind of an off-white creamy color just to make them stand out and pop. And there we go, that's pretty much the sign. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I think it's got a really good wood, old school wood look to it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the video so far. The main reason I put together that sign was for the Calgary Expo I attended this year. It was a comic expo, lots of great exposure, met a bunch of great people. But the funny thing is, it was so busy at that festival, I was unable to videotape any of the sign in action. So I do have a couple of photos. Maybe let's take a look. Anyways, I hope that gives you an idea of what it did look like. I was very happy to have it there. And yeah, it'll be used at any future cons or gatherings. So thanks a lot, and I hope you've really enjoyed this. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you got something out of it, please do all the YouTube-y things below. Subscribing, liking, thanking, blessing, whatever it is that you can do, please do. Tell your friends about it. I'd love to get some more members signed up and seeing the stuff that I'm doing on YouTube. Next thing I'd like to chat about really quickly is the Pink Foam Brigade. This is my Patreon site. Big thanks to all my current Patreons listed here right now. The Brigadiers, you guys are amazing. I absolutely love your support. This site is all about learning to do what I do. I've got lots of tips, tricks, tutorials on showing you how to do that. There's over 50 posts there right now, and literally for a couple of cups of coffee a month, you can have access to all of that. New posts all the time. We get together once a month and actually do a live build session together, so that's a lot of fun. So if you're ever interested or have a friend who's interested, please let them know about it. The link will be below. Thank you very much. I look forward to the next coming video. Lots of stuff has been filmed, so we've got a number of things coming up. Anyways, have a great day and keep making.